The basic history of the Basque Museum began, of course, with the original building built in 1930, and that was built as a library, but was then converted into a museum in the 60s when another library was built, a larger library. Unfortunately, it was built right here in front of the museum, so the museum no longer had the view of the ocean, but anyway, because of that library, they were able to convert this to a museum. And they were given a gift from the Bass family of an art collection from the 15th and 16th centuries. And it became the Bass Museum of Art. Then in '93, we were contacted to do a competition. Venturi and Graves were the other three competitors. And this was the competition entry that won the competition. You have a better picture?
This is the Bass, or old Bass museum, library, converted to the museum. I thought this environment, Atlantic Ocean, beach itself is very impressive and especially for the important. And so this whole area was at the time nothing. I imagined classic art museum, contemporary art museum, and with a modern art museum including, and also same time next generation museum on the front side. Another type of basically installation art museum with landscaping and land art and installation art, environmental art, and all that kind of different type of the museum could be gathered on one place, and we can experience all this kind of art history. Everything are here. That is my idea.
So then there were some delays after the competition was settled, and we had to wait, I think, almost 7 years until the building would be complete. And in that time, the city had negotiated with the museum for a smaller project. And so it was basically 1/3 of this size. So you rethought the project and you came up with a completely different scheme, also behind the historic building as before, but with more dynamic composition, which allowed for phasing. And this was built by the year 2000. And as you said, the situation in Miami changed. The Art Basel began, and the museum needed the building to catch up with all of their activities. So they approached us to create a new expansion, but within the existing footprint, including the covered courtyard, the education center under the main gallery on the terrace, and a double height space where the ramp was then, a slab was added to create 2 floors of galleries.
I think much more, how to say it, very at the time of the first designs, especially this part, the existing building and expansion, and adding this new part, the connection area is a little confused. Because of we couldn't touch much of the old structure and try to leave as much as possible.
Right, right.
So maybe 1 or 2 columns just took out, That's all. But now you can much more clean away the old structure part, and much more better situation you get. So that is a really final station of today.
It seems that in this plan, you had given the orientation for the change. You had given the sort of clues of how this could be transformed as the needs required.
And of course, long time ago, I wrote process planning,
Right.
which is not only for art but libraries.
Right.
Normally, library in the history, there are the library always needs the expansions. More book come up, and different type of reading, different of researching. So always function itself, totally institution itself grows. So how, but the growth itself architecturally has to be organized. So museum institution is the same thing, different kind of exhibition ideas, many kind of different ideas. That is another thing. And office is another thing. And auditoriums are another thing. Many different. But not normally equally grading, like a human body, small size, gradually grow up. Exactly same organs inside. The organ itself, beginning with a small, baby to smaller, but now it can larger is a proportion. But building cannot organize such a ways. Every time we need different shelter, different containers to add, connect to each other. So this is a general concept, process planning. For example, classic parts is there. That is okay, better include, but not necessary to destroy. And we better add something different. Size and proportion always change. After this idea, you can develop those ideas somewhere here or in front. So this museum has a possibility to develop without the big budget.
Right, because they can be done one at a time. But the basic idea is that the space, if the artist needs a container, the space is designed in collaboration with the artist for that specific artwork.
With the collaboration, architecture create different type of containers. For example, in the dance inside, or exterior and outside, with the form of the art pieces. Sometimes the performer, his body itself becomes art, and his gesture is art. So in such a way, we can include all kind of artistic activities to inside them, to create the whole environment on the specific site. Many things could be happen, and those are the museums. Could be museums may conceive and serve of this kind. So, not necessary to build concrete monument. Museum idea expand in such a ways. That is the major trend after mid maybe 2010.
I think maybe your Arc Nova is the kind of concept of the museum future that you're talking about.
Originally, I was asked to help tsunami destroyed area people.
Yeah, Fukushima.
Fukushima, Sendai, yeah. East coast of the, Japan, Pacific side. My friend, old friend, Abado, the conductor, was organizing a music festival. And the promoter of this Abado, he asked me, some movable concert hall. And this is the start for the Arc Nova idea. And I visited Lucerne, in Switzerland, where Abad base. I met Abad to propose this idea to, and fundraising started. And so we didn't have any monies, only volunteer monies started. And the idea was first. So this is the type of the new creation process of the museum itself. Also, same time, myself, that was a concert hall. That's exactly the same ways. So, Arc Nova now built up in Tokyo, but place is not necessary. We can move from nothing. We can create some special institutions itself. So this is I think, the future museums.
I think
So this is very beginning. So maybe if there are ideas, family trees for the competition idea, for the bus museum idea, come out, move around, and end of the branch. That is one of the idea of Arc Nova.